Welcome to
Roses and Thorns.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Lisa.
And we're going to recap The Bachelor.
Week 7?
Seven. Yeah.
Right before hometowns.
We have another guest this week. You heard her name is Lisa.
Yeah, unless I messed that part of it up. Closer. Got it.
Get closer. We want to hear you. So Lisa is one of my best friends. And I found out she also watches The Bachelor. She usually doesn't start until hometowns, but she's going to be out of town next week. So she had to start a week early.
Yeah. I made an exception. You got me attached to people that were just going away.
Oh.
Sorry. I mean, sorry, not sorry. Really.
We didn't lose anybody.
No, you're right.
Hannah
Real
B
green.
was she was like a big player, really.
In the beginning.
Yeah, but Kirpa, we knew her name, but had we not like researched the woman, I don't know. Or if it wasn't for the Band-Aid on her chin, I don't know how well we would have known her.
Yeah.
You didn't see the Band-Aid on her chin, but that was a thing.
What
I think it was at the beginning of the episode, wasn't it?
No, she took
Or
it
was
off
it the week
last
before?
week. Yeah, she took it off
Okay.
last week. It
Okay.
was off by her one-on-one.
Okay.
She fell in a rock taking a selfie. They didn't show it, though.
Of course they weren't going to show that.
They didn't even show her in the hospital or anything, which they had recording of. So that was a deleted scene. And that seems like way more interesting than most of the things they've shown us.
Mhm. They've shown, who's it?
David, when he fell out of the top bunk.
Yeah, it was like a whole thing. The
They built that
ambulance
up for
came and
weeks.
they like braced his neck just in case he broke his neck.
Yeah.
Like, what about Kirpa's neck?
For some reason, they didn't care about Kirpa getting,
I guess
5 stitches or 15 stitches? Something like that. She got stitches in her face. And they didn't show her at the hospital or anything.
Man, she must be really good with makeup. To cover that up.
True, I didn't even
that
notice
well.
it. Yeah. That's a good point.
Okay. Do you have any news?
I have a little bit. So I was listening to Two Black Girls, One Rose, and they mentioned some sort of interview or something, or some sort of comment that one of the producers made. I don't know his name, but it's not Mike Fleiss. That's what
okay.
I remember. It's somebody else. And he compared the end of the season, like last episode of this season, I assume last episode. They said end of the season. Compared it to
right.
seasons such as Ari, Brad Womack, Jason Mesnick, and Juan Pablo. So Ari, we know, chose Becca, but then changed his mind and went to Lauren.
So did Jason Mesnick.
Jason Mesnick basically did the exact same thing. Both of them broke up with their partners on live TV. That's a good thing to do. Ari's wasn't live, but he still, invited them to the breakup. Brad Womack chose no one. And Juan Pablo wouldn't say I love you to anyone. Like, even in the proposal. Like, wouldn't say I love you.
Did he propose to somebody?
I think he did.
Oh, and he didn't say I love you?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
So we didn't watch that season, but that's what I tried to read about him to find out what his deal was.
Is that true, Lisa? Do you know?
I think that I just remember people being like, he's a liar. He's a liar.
Oh, because he probably wouldn't say I love you?
Yeah,
is that true?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Was that what you
That's
had?
all I had, yeah.
Okay. Okay. One, I think, just opinion that I have is that Jordan is getting pretty desperate to stay relevant in things. So he's
Kimball from last
yes.
season? Okay.
So he's being increasingly like negative towards like obvious villains like Leo.
Demi? Oh.
And Demi. But Leo, he was like, I forget exactly what it was, but it's like, introducing my introductory course to being an asshole or something like that, featuring Leo or something like that. So like being an asshole to Leo, but kind of like,
He deserves it.
he does, but like unwarranted, like at least between him and Leo. And then also some drama.
Well, we don't know that. He lived in the same house as Leo. We don't know that it's unwarranted.
Oh, I guess.
Wait, he lived in the same house with them?
Bachelor.
In Bachelorette.
Oh,
Yeah, they're both on Becca's season.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and then Demi, where like people were trying to like, conversations between the two would be so interesting because they have such strong personalities, and then they're like the internet even started calling them Jemmy.
Yeah.
And then he said, "I'm not interested in that. Don't ship me out with that," or something like that. And I think they were talking about The Bachelor in Paradise. So like he's kind of stirring up some kind of drama.
So yeah, his whole thing
wherever
that he
he
said
can.
with Demi was like making fun of her laugh, which like sucks because like if you just have like a genuine laugh,
Like if that's your laugh, you can't help it.
I mean, you can change it, but you shouldn't make someone feel bad about the way they laugh. And that's what he was like talking about. I was like, she would probably be really interesting to talk to, but can you imagine you're watching a funny movie and you keep hearing that laugh? And like he's kept going on about her laugh, and so she responded. She's like, "You'd be so lucky to hear my laugh," or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
she did say something like that. Yeah. EW Entertainment Weekly had an exclusive story. I didn't read it. I should have, but it was.
Oh, please tell us more about
But
the
it's
story you
of
didn't read.
Tayshia and her boyfriend.
Oh, you should have read that.
I know. I just didn't have time.
Oh, okay.
But I'm assuming it probably has some truths in it that, you know, would have been important during the Bachelor season. And then Katie, the Katie that just went home in Singapore?
Last week, yeah.
Nope.
Week 6.
Thailand?
I think they were in Thailand last week, yeah.
They were in Vietnam.
They were in Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam, yes.
Yeah.
She just posted on Twitter an Exodus, what's it called? Like when you quote the Bible, a certain verse? Bible verse?
Yeah, sure.
And it said, "You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor." And so it's kind of like, who is lying? She still is not really giving who is
Encrypted.
lying. So like, obviously at the Women Tell All, something's going to happen.
But here's the thing. If we're going to go ahead and just like touch on that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we're going to go into it because it makes some more sense to go into it like during this, you know, recap. Cassie and Caelynn never give false testimony about another person. She's about your neighbor. Give false testimony about your neighbor.
Well, they're saying that they're lying, so like saying
Cassie
that.
and Caelynn don't talk about other people. Only
about your
Tayshia
neighbor,
and
I
Kirpa
guess.
talk about.
But saying that they're
Caelynn and
liars,
Cassie.
is that lying
It sounds to
about
me
your neighbor?
I mean, because Cassie and Caelynn were only talking about themselves.
But they were saying that the other ones were lying, so they were liars.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So yeah, I'm sure Katie will have some truth, some tea to spill.
There will be so much yelling at the Women Tell All.
That I'm actually really looking forward to.
We look for different things in entertainment on TV. Lisa, me and you.
Ryan gets so annoyed at everyone just like trying to talk over each other.
It just becomes this
Cacophony.
Just this noise. Like, whenever it happens at my family events, like the aunts are just yelling. I just like, I don't hear anything right now.
Yeah, me neither, but that's because they're yelling in Cantonese.
Yeah.
Or Vietnamese. I really couldn't tell you.
Both. Probably both.
I really like that, like, that has context. But, like, taken out of context, you just sound awful.
Sometimes Ryan says things and I'm like, Ryan's Chinese. I feel like we need to just say that.
We need to, like,
It
put
doesn't
that out
sound
there.
that racist. If you know some context.
Okay, any other pieces of
Nope.
news?
I think that's all I really saw today.
Okay,
Past couple days.
Let's get into the show.
Okay.
They are in Denver, which
Yeah.
is in Colorado, which is in the United States on planet Earth.
Of
Oh,
America.
sorry, in North America, and then on planet Earth in the Milky Way galaxy.
Okay. What's our solar
If
system?
you
What's
were
the solar
unsure.
system?
It's the Milky Way galaxy. Isn't that part of the solar? Isn't the solar system inside of our galaxy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's our solar system called?
Yeah.
Do you know?
No.
Oh. Boy, trying to challenge me.
I'm just asking
I'm
if you
really
know.
glad that you followed up with that.
I don't. Seemed like you knew a lot of other answers. Maybe you knew that answer, Miss Smarty Pants.
Oh boy. So when they get to Denver, Colton meets with Ben Higgins, who, based on the way Colton's looking at Ben Higgins is the love of his life.
Right?
That's so
Like-
Right? They held each other ever so tenderly when they said goodbye.
his Colton's face when he's looking at Ben is just like, I don't know, when you see your idol and you just like, you can only think of the positive things that they've done. Never mind, like, I don't know. Did he...
Has Ben Higgins done anything negative, though?
I don't know. What did...
I mean,
has he
done anything positive in recorded history?
Been adorable.
Oh my god.
Okay, did he actually propose to somebody?
He did. He was engaged.
Okay, and then they just broke
He
up.
has failed like so many ways.
Was he bachelor? Was he a bachelor twice?
Yeah, he was like a bachelor twice. He was like a contest. Like he just is. Yeah,
I'm sure he was on Paradise probably too.
Oh, that's not fair. He's being judged by a completely different standard.
It's a different perspective from people that just started watching it.
Yeah, we met him in Winter Games, so we never actually saw any of his seasons.
I see. Oh yeah, that Winter Games, another place he failed.
He just left.
He just left because
he was a bummer.
Was somebody was trying to hook up with him?
No, it was just him and Yuki were the only ones that weren't coupled up, and so he decided to leave. And then Chris Harrison told Yuki that Ben left, and
there are no more men.
Or that there are no more men. And then she was like, "Okay, I'm going home."
Yeah, it looked like she didn't understand, but I'm sure she did.
Yeah,
she was just being very polite in Japanese about it.
I'm sure somebody translated for her or something. I know he was trying to use his best Japanese, but it seemed like what he learned in high school.
Nani?
What?
That's my best Japanese. It means like
what?
What? Yeah.
Mine is konbanwa. I only know because of Terrace House.
Yeah.
They start at konbanwa, and then she has a bunch of things, and then they all say hi.
So this.
Hi.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay. Anyway.
So the women roll up they don't roll up. I put roll up and then like, I was like, they're not rolling, they're running or walking. And then I figured that like rolling, does that mean that you're driving?
I think it does. Like, yeah.
Okay. Well, they run up.
Wait, if you were in a boat, would it be rolling up?
If it was a sweet boat, like
rolling up.
Yeah. Like rolling through the waves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another way. Okay, well, the women meet him in a park where his dog. I just abandoned it. Let's not talk about that anymore.
Kelly, can you write that down so we can edit this out?
Nope.
We're gonna leave it in. And his dog's name is Sniper.
Sniper.
It's such a 20-year-old boy's name for a dog. It's probably because he played a lot of Call of Duty.
Okay, that makes me feel better. I just thought it sounded like a really patriotic name, and I'm cool with patriotic. That's fine, but like the military patriotic, where it's like
snipers kill people.
Precise peer. Like you just he's like
on
that
your enemy.
Leaf. Oh. That leaf, I'm gonna like pee on that leaf. And it's like, man, he's got the precision of a sniper.
Maybe. Maybe.
That's one explanation. One story.
So how long did they have the dog before they named it?
Like 2 months and 5 days.
What's its Christian name? What's its birth name?
It's not Christian. It's a real point of contention with the family.
The dog or just religion in general? Okay.
The dog. Yeah. But it doesn't need to be religious because all dogs go to heaven.
Right, yeah, exactly. So
it's like, I'm going to live my life, pee on all these leaves and enemies and move on.
I'm going to pee on that, I'm going to pee on that, I'm going to pee on that.
God will forgive me.
I'm sorry, I'm never getting invited back again, am I? Yes, there's Sniper.
There's Sniper.
And you guys, we were talking about earlier, and you were able to like precisely age the dog. You were like, the dog was approximately 10 years, 2 months, based on the gray accumulation of hairs on its chin.
They probably adopted it when it was about, I'm going to say 7 weeks old. I know it's a little bit early, but it was kind of like a rescue situation.
Yeah, it's got a slightly shelter feel to it.
It was fostered for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's foster to adoption for
You
sure.
can tell it was taken away from its mom a little bit early by the way his hind legs grew. So next, can we talk about Hannah B's shirt?
Oh, that it was on a shirt?
Yeah, her fishnet top.
Yeah, it was just, it was just sheer.
Yeah, so she was, I mean, she's wearing like, I don't know if it was like an actual like top underneath of it or it was just like a bra, but I mean, that part was fine. It was just like this fishnet, like goth look was what I took from it.
Yeah. It was
Which seemed like she was trying. It just didn't seem very naturally her. Was my only problem with it.
I see. I see. Other women where it would fit their personality, it would be okay.
Yeah, like Becca M. If she had worn something like that, it would have seemed a little bit more
okay
like her.
Okay.
But Hannah B, it looked like she was trying.
Okay.
And that was really my only problem.
Okay. And so he comes and says, "Oh, the dates start now," and then grabs Tayshia for their one-on-one, and then just leaves everybody else. It's just so mean.
Did they take the dog? Like, what happens to the dog?
Nobody cares about dogs in the show because if you watch, I don't know if you watched the first few episodes, but on night 1, this woman named Catherine came in and handed her dog over to Colton and then went in the house. And then there was no more mention of her dog. Yeah.
Well,
Except
Chris Harrison
saw
did
Chris
take
Harrison
it.
walking it a little bit.
But
I'm sure that was just for the camera, honestly.
But Colton did have his dog throughout the date, though.
He did?
Yes.
The dog was
Oh,
hanging
they
out?
did. They did bring the dog with them on the date, and they bought it ice cream and everything.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I clearly just was not focused on that dog at all.
I knew exactly. It was wearing a bandana.
Like, what flavor of ice cream did the dog get,
It
Ryan?
looked like vanilla.
Yeah.
I was worried because Tayshia had gotten like an espresso, like macchiato flavored ice cream or something like that. And then I saw her with an ice cream cone giving it to the dog. I was like, you can't give the dog coffee? I was like, but that's really vanilla looking ice cream. And then she had 2 ice cream cones in her hand.
Yeah.
And she said, that one's all for you.
Oh, okay. It's like,
Were you even watching the show?
I mean, I clearly am not good at watching, is what I'm learning from this.
I think you don't have a podcast.
I think everyone listening is thinking exactly the same thing.
Everyone does not pay as close of attention to ice cream as Kelly's. Nobody.
Yeah,
That's what we have learned from this.
Espresso praline. It wasn't the crunch. The crunch was one container over, and I thought she was going to go for that. I think I would have gone for that.
Wait, what was the flavor that Colton tried?
Oh, it was like a maple something.
Maple pecan salted caramel.
Something like that, yeah. The maple is what really stood out because I went, oh, that sounds so good. At the same time Tayshia did.
Okay, so they get oysters. They get ice cream. They showed this in the end, but Tayshia got ice cream on her butt. Did you see that?
The chocolate,
okay,
yeah,
like
the
in the
chocolate.
crack.
Yeah.
They go to a butcher shop or deli or something where they buy salmon. They're walking his dog. Was there anything else?
They got another glass of wine. They had oysters and wine in the beginning. They got another glass of wine at the end. This whole part just seemed very much like a regular date to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not complaining about it.
No. It did seem to sell the fact that they had chemistry to me more because it was so chill.
Yeah, rather than if they're like on a yacht and then
right.
going
they're
to
like,
the
I'm in a
beach and,
helicopter and my
forcing the
adrenaline is
situation.
going, clearly I love you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like how Elise said that she was like felt like such a strong connection with him already when they went to like this really fun date in an amusement park with like these kids, which is something she liked, and is, you know, and it was like a great date for her. And she's like, I just feel like we really had a future. And it's like something like this tells you like if you can just like walk around a city and really enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
Tells
True
you
story.
a better indicator.
Yeah. Was there anything else during the day that he did?
Colton says that he feels certain that the other women weren't talking about Tayshia.
Right. It like
this whole thing, he's really worried.
Oh,
this was like my
okay.
first impressions, but it seemed like he selected her to be a narc. Like, I mean, like,
because
okay,
being
like,
the first
obviously-
woman
yeah, like
to talk to
something
you?
about the way that he was like, I'm picking you, and I was like, okay, they're having a sweet time, but then like the way he like went at her, it was like like,
I knew it wasn't you. Tell me everything.
Tell me everything. Yeah.
I see.
But she also like switched on being. I think I texted you when I was watching it that she switched on being a tattler like right away. She's like, I don't want to tattle, but here are the names and the specific things, and
I
like here's the live
too.
feed that I have watching all of their moves, and like it's just like
I do have a nanny cam in the house that I can show you what's been going on. She like said something like, I don't want to name names,
but she went ahead and just named some names.
Yeah,
that was weird.
I wonder like if they edited out like 20 minutes of like wearing her down
of the interrogation process.
So she just like looks like a total flip-flopper.
Yeah, and so like at some point they like cut back to the house and they show Cassie and Caelynn talking, and they're all like, well, it's not like Tayshia could like say she thinks it's us because she doesn't really know us. Like we don't really talk to her that much, and like thank goodness,
they don't know each other.
Like, name names or whatever.
But then like later, doesn't she like come up to her and say, we were friends?
Yeah. Yeah, there are some conflicting. I mean, everything's conflicting.
Yeah.
Everything we're hearing from everyone is conflicting themselves and others.
So it sounds like what actually happened was they made a conjecture based, like, no one actually heard them say these things. Right? She's never saying, like...
Except for, like, Tayshia doesn't say that.
She doesn't say it's a conjecture. She
just says that, I think it is, like, I think
that's who they were talking about, I think is what she said.
Yeah, something, but she says something that makes it sound like she heard Cassie and
like,
Caelynn
I think
they want to be the next Bachelorette.
She didn't say, I heard them say that they wanted to be the next Bachelorette or something, but I think she said they were talking about it.
Yes.
So it's like, it's not, she didn't hear it. It could have been her, it could have been relayed from somebody else.
But that's not the image you get when somebody
when someone says that, you think that person heard it.
Yeah.
It's a first-hand report.
Because when they have the conversation later on, what Tayshia actually says is like, we all agreed that it was probably you guys that they were talking about.
Yeah, we believe, like, that's not science.
That's not the same.
That's not fact.
Yeah.
Our opinion is, like, that's not fact.
Yeah, the way she presented it to Colton was very different than the conversation she had with Caelynn.
Yeah.
Which makes me then believe that moment with Caelynn and Tayshia is the most real information we have in all of this. Because Tayshia didn't say, like, I heard you, or Katie heard you, or anything like that.
That said, I do feel like Cassie and Caelynn were acting super paranoid the whole time.
They did say something about being glad that Katie didn't name names, or the other women didn't name names. Which then makes it sound that they could be people.
Even this whole episode, it seemed like they were weirdly paranoid. Like very, like, backing each other up in a way that like seemed weird to me. Like even when am I like jumping in? I don't know, but like when Cassie, Caelynn like is like, oh no, if Cassie gets sent home because of these like rumors, or like it seems very selfless, but it seeed much more like I need the story to be really solid,
to be like lined up.
Yeah,
which I think I guess I'll hold onto that. Oh, hold on. Well, no, I feel like we're talking about it right now.
We're talking about it, yeah.
Okay. I feel like, Kirpa and Tayshia, when Kirpa said, based on my observations and my opinion, I think that it's you, Cassie, I think she was talking to Cassie, and Caelynn, and it's like, I'm pretty sure that was exactly what Tayshia said when she was talking to Caelynn. And so it's like, they corroborated.
Perfect.
Yeah, it did sound a little bit corroborated, especially with that weird moment they shared at the end of week 5.
Didn't Hannah and Kirpa like have a conversation where like Hannah was like, we both know that this is happening, and like I would hate for him to think that Tayshia was making things up.
I was in the bathroom or the kitchen or something when Tayshia said something about backing Tayshia up. Do you remember what that was?
Were you talking about Tayshia?
So, like,
No.
Kirpa and Hannah had a conversation.
Was it on the group date?
On the group date, yeah.
Oh, on the group date. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She said she would back up Tayshia.
Yeah.
But then she said almost the exact same thing Tayshia did when Kirpa was not present when Tayshia said that
Okay.
to Colton. So it was just, like, kind of weird. And then
Like Hannah and Kirpa and Tayshia are all in on it together?
no, because Hannah just said, like, that's what she got from the whole situation as well.
Right.
She didn't actually contribute anything to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
But at the end of week 5, after the 3 women went home, separately went home, Tayshia and Kirpa shared that weird moment where Tayshia looked at Kirpa and said, "Seems like it's me, us two standing there at the end." So you didn't see that.
Oh, end of
But-
Singapore, I think.
Singapore or Vietnam?
No, Vietnam.
Vietnam.
It was Vietnam.
No, Thailand. Fuck. Where were they in week 5? Like, I just don't remember.
Last week was Vietnam.
Last week was
That
Vietnam,
6.
so it would have
Week
been
5 was-
week 5 was Thailand. Because they went to Singapore first. I remember that.
Yeah.
Also, in Vietnam, this is a complete aside, but Cassie had a really messed up spider bite on her arm. Like, I went.
You
back-
noticed that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I went backwards, like, to try and, like, gather more intel, like,
Mhm.
into the back. Like, yeah. And I was like, I hope she's getting that checked out. It was,
Yeah.
like, super alarming. It's, neither
I just thought it
here
might
nor
be a
there.
mosquito bite or something.
Yeah,
It's
I get.
so, like, red.
Yeah.
I get some pretty gnarly reactions to mosquito bites, so
It really does.
I wouldn't be surprised about anything. I've had. No, I won't talk about it.
Like,
anyway.
you would think that his arm was going to need amputated.
Yeah. It's like,
He's like, no, just a mosquito
what
bite.
attacked you? Mosquito.
It's like, chop it off before it kills us all.
When it's like basically half your arm and it's itchy, you kind of want to cut it off.
Okay, so backtracking just a little bit.
Yeah.
We were on Tayshia's date.
Mhm.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
on Tayshia's date.
The first date.
So Tayshia does specifically name Cassie and Caelynn.
Yeah.
And they are accused of talking about being the next bachelorette, not being ready to be engaged, and talking about who they were going to get to meet and get to know
In the
now-
Bachelor
in-
Nation.
in- yeah, in the Bachelor franchise.
Mhm.
Which are serious accusations because it means they are not here for the right reasons.
No.
TM.
A 23-year-old?
I was reading.
Not here for the right reasons, trademark?
Yes.
TM. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
There is a moment in How I Met Your Mother when Ted Mosby and the mom, Tracy McConnell, meet, and the yellow umbrella says TM on it, and he says it means Ted Mosby, and she says, no, it means totally my umbrella, and he says, you're TM, you're totally mistaken, and this whole TM thing. So anytime I hear TM, I think of that whole conversation.
You think of Ted Mosby?
Yeah.
I know this isn't the place for it, but I'm really irritated with what they did with that show.
There was you should try to find that spliced up version where it ended
Where
up.
they fix it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have watched it like several times to try and cleanse my palate.
Yeah.
But I also have this conversation that I had with you actually as it was airing, and they had that like that conversation where she was like, what kind of woman is not there for her like daughter's funeral or like wedding or whatever, and it was like sad, and then you looked at me and you were like, they better not be killing her, and I was like, I think they're killing her, and then they killed her, and like I have that
But there
moment.
is like a filmed version of them happily ever after.
like they like
Yeah,
for
there's
real,
an
like
alternate
it was
ending.
like a so that the child actors didn't know the ending. They filmed both versions. And so-
they chose poorly.
Yeah,
Um,
I think the thing that we're talking about was probably better than what they filmed.
Yeah.
I wish they wouldn't have killed off the mom, but I did watch it again through a different lens and was like, but it was Robin the whole time.
It was just
It
all
was
about her.
Robin. Yeah, the whole story's about him and Robin. So, but that show is highly problematic, even just like 10 years later.
We did
like,
talk
it's-
about it. We watched it and we were like, oh, I'm more woke than I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not recommending that you watch How I Met Your Mother if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Just remembering that
Talking
it's
about The Bachelor.
no. I think has suddenly turned into a How I Met Your Mother podcast.
This category that we're under is actually called TV and film. So we can talk about whatever you want.
It's TV. And it was filmed. So there.
Okay, on their date.
Yeah, on the date. We're still on Tayshia's date. We have longer than I thought. I thought we were moving on to
Okay,
Caelynn's date. We have half a page left of Tayshia's date.
I have 2 sentences. They were talking about, I don't know, meeting family and like
right. I forgot
what her dad is like, and she said my dad's a hard ass. Like, oh, my dad's a hard ass too. And
bonding.
Yeah, bonding. And then he was talking about how he needs the father's blessing to kind of move forward in the whole thing. So it's like, okay, do you really though? Because you're probably not going to get it.
He's like, I'm so
you're gonna have to.
I need the father's blessing from 4 different women.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be okay with. I trust Tayshia. Yeah. I trust.
That's the
Caelynn.
best you're going to get as a blessing on this show. Because if anyone's like, yeah, hell yeah, marry my daughter. Probably there's something you don't know about the situation.
It's getting paid. That's what. Paid by the show. What did you have?
But she does say her dad might be a hard sell.
Which
I think should be the norm.
Right?
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then back at the house, the date card comes in. And it says it's Caelynn. And Cassie is not happy about it. Even though they're best friends. She is very upset.
Didn't she say...
Caelynn, I think, is like consoling Cassie. Like, sorry, I got the date card.
And then didn't she say, like, I hate that I'm happy for you? Did she say
Something like that. Yeah, I think she did. And then back on the date.
Now we're on Caelynn's date.
No, we're still on Tayshia's date.
Okay.
Oh, I just wrote down that she tries to, like, because Colton's like, yeah, I need your dad's blessing. So then she, like, kind of backtracks. She's like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. He's not that bad. He's not that much. It'll be fine. Like, you guys are going to get along so well.
Yeah.
Like, she, like, tries to, like, instill some
turn
more
it around
confidence in him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she puts on a jersey with his name on the back, and he fucking loves that.
Yeah, he's so into it. He is so like
he didn't realize that was his fetish.
Like you definitely see that he's a little boy. Like in that moment, like you definitely see that it's like all his dreams are coming true. Right?
Yeah. That's a good point. And he says he's falling in love with her.
Yep, he does.
I think this is the second time we've heard that he's falling in love. I think the first one was with Hannah G.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said he was crazy about Cassie.
Yes.
And falling in love with Hannah G.
Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. And then there's like that whole thing with Kirpa saying she's going to back up everything Tayshia says.
Yeah, which seems fishy.
But I didn't actually see it, so I don't know if there's anything that you can add to that. Wait, unless you're lying to me and you're saying that you're going to back up Kirpa saying that Kirpa's going to back up everything Tayshia says.
Side would I be on then? Would I be on...
You'd be on the Tayshia-Kirpa side.
You'd be on the wrong side.
You're not. I know you're not.
I'm really not.
I'm not saying what side I'm on, but I am saying that you are definitely not on Kirpa's side. You were so mad at Kirpa.
Oh, yeah.
You love Cassie.
Wait, you love Cassie?
I love Cassie. No.
Loves. They're going to get married, actually.
Oh, well,
Cassie found love after the show.
It,
spoiler.
Like, super awkward for
me. She's not invited to Ryan's my wedding.
But you're invited to mine, Cassie's wedding.
I'm like not going though.
You're invited to our wedding.
No, like not his and Cass.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Hashtag loyalty.
I might not go either. I don't know.
I mean, you like him a lot, so I can see why you would go.
I mean, it would be my husband's wedding.
Yeah.
That was a weird tangent.
Yeah.
Let's go to Caelynn's date.
It's interesting. Wait, like I want to know why you hate Kirpa so much.
Okay, after Tayshia and Kirpa said that, like, I'm going to back up everything you said, it just sounded like they were just banding together to kind of continue on together to further themselves into this show.
To create kind of like a blind alliance.
Yeah.
I see.
And so, like...
So it's like from this episode that you've disliked or not, it's not something coming in?
I mean, I wasn't ever really excited about her either. Sure. So I didn't hate her before this. I don't hate her now. But it just, I don't know. After this episode, it seemed like she was playing the game a lot more than she was before.
Okay.
All the women were playing the game a lot more this episode.
True. It is more of a competition now than it was before.
And then I said that like when Tayshia was telling Colton about Cassie and Caelynn that it's just like he's already gone through this. She said. It's like they have no evidence. They do have evidence because they recorded everything.
Yeah,
but like they're not going to give it to him.
Yeah.
That's kind of rude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. It's almost like they're making
it's
a
been
show for
orchestrated
drama.
or something. Sorry, what were you going to say, Lisa?
Oh no, that was and then Cassie, the love for Cassie. Is that like from previous time?
Oh, I think I had her going all the way, right?
Yeah, I think he wants to go all the way with Cassie. He has her winning at the end. Yeah.
I see.
Some ulterior motives.
Yeah.
All right, Caelynn.
Caelynn's date. So they go snowboarding, and she looks fucking adorable in her winter clothes. Like,
I didn't really pay attention.
Cute. She's got this, like, little pink hat on, which, like, I can't pull off pink. She's definitely more of a pink person.
It's like and
then she's got these, like, perfect, like, waves in her hair. And then, like, even, like, her big, bulky, like, winter coat looks super cute.
Isn't it, like, a tan color? Like, it's not that cute.
I think it was, like, an olive. But it had, like, the fur around the hood. It's,
like a parka?
All these things that, like, do not look good on me. Ever. But she looked so cute. Trying to look it up? That's the Olympics. You're looking at pictures of the Olympics.
I know.
We weren't watching the Olympics. Did you know that? I know they were really good at snowboarding, but it wasn't the Olympics.
I really want to see it because you're like making it sound super cute. And I'm like,
she's basically a runway
and
model.
I'm feeling like I'm just
She's
not
a
good at watching
snowboarding
TV.
clothes
Like,
model.
Uh-huh. She was basically in a magazine. They did like a whole photo shoot with her.
Such an unreliable witness because I'm so swayed by your like.
She looks super cute.
I'm like, well, clearly
Trust
I was
me.
like way off. I found her totally normal, but like I'm wrong. Like, that's the only thing that I'm sure about in life.
And this is why you should never talk to the police, Lisa.
I know, exactly. It's terrifying, actually. Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess we're moving on. But basically, like, so Colton brings up everything Tayshia said.
Yep.
And Caelynn is, like, flabbergasted, you know?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like, her... I don't know, I felt like... Caelynn's reaction for me was a little bit harder to read. That I couldn't tell if it was a whoa what kind of moment or if it was like genuinely thrown off. My favorite moment was when he like said something about like, and she says that like you being the next bachelorette, and she was like, what, me?
Yeah, and she's like, you think it could really happen though?
I didn't
even joke.
I didn't see that.
Don't even joke. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like
that really happened. Like
yeah,
like
her face like lit up. She's like, who, me?
She did seem excited. Yeah, I guess I like went in like so. I've like obviously only started watching like this episode as has been previously stated. So I went in looking at her with great suspicion and like
because of all the rumors.
Because, like, this is what is like leading up to it, right? I'm like, okay, like let me.
So you hadn't seen anything previously?
I hadn't seen anything
because there was also questions about her character previous in the show.
I see. So like I just felt like. Okay, so this is completely, I don't know anything about her, but like, I have like sometimes met people that are very much liars that just like go into an alternate reality and they're just like that is not true. Like, and like she just like went real far, right? Like, she was like, disgusting behavior and like, you know, like she kept using these like really intense terms. And then when she was crying, like, Colton, my takeaway from just the few bits that I've watched, like, is not super great. Like, he gets emotionally flooded really fast. So, like, anytime anybody
that's something to look out for on the
cries,
show. Yeah.
like, anytime anybody cries, he's like, oh, my gut's telling me they're, like, really telling. Like, it just seems like he's very swayable in this, like...
He definitely is. I think it's later on, or maybe... I think it's later on in the date, but where she starts talking about how she kind of turns it around a little bit, talking about like, I just wanted to be me and you at the end of this, and I really want to get married at the end of this, and I do want to raise kids, and
but she's like saying it like with him, which made him like even more emotional.
Just like bring him in every single sentence, and I don't know if that was because of like she thought about it. Was that later on in the date?
That was in the dinner.
Okay. So like maybe she had some time to think about it. But then I was thinking like, man, if like she can kind of play the like heartstrings of people because of the pageant experience. Like she knows what phrases are good to grab people and stuff like that. She has trained to make people like her.
So I think like my stance in this is that I don't really have like a sense of like, oh, this person is lying, that person's lying, but like I don't trust Caelynn.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like she is very manipulative.
Okay.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing in a person, right? Like people are manipulative for like many different reasons, but like it just feels like everything is too like on beat.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when she felt like things were unraveling, she like went in and she like did her little like, I just want you to have the truth, man. I just want you to have like
isn't this a similar thing that happened when like Hannah B talked to Colton about Caelynn? When like Hannah B talked to Colton about Caelynn and she said she was like manipulative and everything like that. And then Caelynn, like, I felt like reacted very similarly to how she did here.
Yes. I thought that exactly.
It's like, it hurts my feelings that you think I'm manipulative. It really makes me feel really sad that you think I'm trying to manipulate you. Like, it's like...
But in that one, she actually turned it back around. She was like, no, she's the one that's manipulative. She's the one that's deceptive and all those things. Oh, go ahead.
I'll save it for later. Yeah.
I do want to mention one thing that she said, where, so she said that, like, she's the only one that would know how she's feeling. She's the only one who would know, like, if she, is actually ready for marriage.
Mm-hmm.
How would Tayshia know if she's ready for marriage? And that's what she says to Colton. And then I think she says the part about Tayshia to Colton. But then to the camera, she's like, I'm the only one here that's ready for marriage. And I would be like, how do you know if they're ready for marriage?
And then I think he says on this date too that like, what would Tayshia have to gain for making up these lies? It's like, that's kind of
fair.
True, kind of half true. Like, she doesn't have to make up things. She shouldn't have to make up things, but like to move forward.
Like, she could have, like, things were going pretty well between them. She could have been, like, vague and cryptic in the same way. Like, she didn't have to explicitly say so many detailed things.
Well, actually, so, like, I'm sorry, but backing up, what does Tayshia have to gain? Like isn't that an obvious answer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. I know, but that's what Colton said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which, I mean, I feel like Caelynn should have stared blankly at him and waited for him to figure that.
Oh, he didn't say that to her. He said it.
He said it to the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because she has everything to gain from that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes a lot of sense to me that if Kirpa and Tayshia knew that Heather was thinking about possibly going home, and then on the group date, Kirpa's talking to Hannah G and whoever else is sitting there, and like, I think, I don't think she's really feeling it. Like, she says she's going to talk to him so she can get the answer she wants, and like, Kirpa's like, has all the answers about what's happening with Heather.
Yeah.
That's suspicious if I'm doing my current conspiracy theory that I'm doing. That maybe Kirpa and Tayshia like talked to Heather, was like, yeah, I mean, if you're not feeling it, you should really talk to Colton. Because Heather went in and basically said like,
I'm going to go home.
Yeah. And then if they say they're going to be the only two standing at the end of this, And then they basically convinced Colton to send home Cassie and Caelynn, which obviously didn't work. But yeah, then they get to go to hometowns. I don't know. I'm calling it a conspiracy theory. It is formed.
Interesting.
I mean,
My
alliance.
darkest moments where I was like, maybe he does believe that they're just in okay, I have some poison about Colton coming into it because
What do you mean by poison?
I felt like when he was in Bachelor in Paradise, like he was with
Tia.
Yeah. And I just felt like he was kind of doing that to stay relevant, and then he was like biding his time to be the Bachelor, and then he was like, oh, I'm so hurt that I can't love you, I'm so sad, why am I so broken, right? Which to me, I was like, okay. It felt to me like he was sort of biding his time to be the Bachelor. And my mind was maybe he's just super into Hannah G, and he's like, well, if these bitches are just in it for being the next, but it's less bad if I keep them on. But that was just my super jaded heart.
Yeah,
I see.
That is going really dark.
This is a stressful day.
But so you also agree that it's Hannah G, right?
Yeah,
That he
for
really
sure,
wants.
absolutely.
That's gonna win it?
100%. Yeah, I'm
I
so
don't know.
sure.
And you've only watched one episode.
I don't
That's
know.
how you feel?
So I watched the one episode, and then I went back to Vietnam.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
one on
I
one
mean-
Mm-hmm.
date where they just make out the entire fucking
the
time.
entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, I've said it's Hannah G the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But you picked. Did you pick Hannah G
Yeah,
to
I
win
did.
the whole thing?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yeah, okay, that's all so far Tayshia has a rose, so she's going to hometowns.
Sure.
And Caelynn got a rose, she saved herself, so she's going to hometowns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they had a private concert too.
Yeah, then there was a private concert at the Red Rock Amphitheater, which, fun fact, I got my parents for Christmas that they're going to go to the Red Rock Amphitheater for a date because it's been on their bucket list.
That's so awesome.
My mom cried.
Aw.
I think your dad was kind of crying too.
I think my dad got as emotional as my dad would ever get.
Okay. Yeah.
He's not a big surly dude or anything. He's a geek. He's just he's like a computer. He works on computers and he's kind of like a computer.
A little bit, yeah. And then, but I think he saw your mom crying. I think that also pulled a couple strings too.
That's real sweet.
Yeah, they're so excited about it, and they kept saying thank you. I was like, it's you guys want to go? I'm just letting you guys go.
Sweet. When is it gonna be?
This summer probably, but I mean,
You got.
I think they shouldn't wait, because they've already been waiting 50 years or whatever. They should probably just do it.
Hop on.
Yeah, just do it. Your sister will be fine.
Josie?
Yeah,
maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Hannah B?
Hannah B. She gets the other one-on-one, and Cassie is also again distraught.
Yeah, so Cassie is worried about the group date, and then Hannah G said that is she's sad that he didn't want to spend more time with her. And it's girl, you just got a date.
Yeah.
Hannah B was the first date.
Yeah, I said when Caelynn got it, it's everyone. I wrote down everyone is crying. I was like, but maybe not Kirpa, probably not Hannah G, because they just got a one-on-one date, so they shouldn't be too thirsty for another one,
right? Yeah, but Hannah B was the first one-on-one date. She's due for another one.
Yeah,
for sure.
So at the house, Caelynn is basically recapping to Cassie her date with Colton, and then this is when she goes to talk to Tayshia.
Yeah.
And Tayshia says that after Katie talked to Colton, all the women in the house sat down, talked about it, and decided that she must have been talking about Caelynn and Cassie.
Yeah.
Which is definitely not what Tayshia said to Colton.
It's true. That is not how that was. I am definitely on board with that is not the information that was presented.
Yeah. And then she's like, because they acted defensively, it must have been them.
Yeah.
Which is logic.
Yeah, saying I don't know. Well, I guess it depends what she meant by defensive.
I mean, they have been weird. I don't know why they're being weird. I feel like they're being weird.
Yeah. But especially once they got accused, I see being kind of weird.
But they were weird from the beginning. Like, when they were like, who would she talk? Like, I don't know. It just seemed like
when they were sitting on the bed talking to each other.
But it's also important, playing devil's advocate, on the Kirpa Tayshia conspiracy side. It's important to remember that what we're seeing is a production.
Yeah, for sure.
So I could definitely see the producers being like, hey, like, why don't you guys just, like, go talk about what you think is going on?
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, like,
making it look like they're a team.
What do you think Tayshia's saying? You know, like, they try to elicit these conversations. Nobody's just sitting there naturally having these conversations.
It's just like a weird vibe I get.
You're getting so high-pitched about it.
I know, right? It's very unlikely. It's a weird vibe I get. It's a weird vibe I get. Does that make it seem more authoritative?
Yes, I'm so much more believable now.
Yeah. The patriarchy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not, again, like I said, it's not that I, like, believe one side or the other. It's just that I feel like they're shady. And I don't know.
It sounds like you do believe one side or the other.
But I don't know, like, when I heard the conversation, I was like, okay, I don't necessarily, like, I don't believe that it's as harsh as it seemed at the very beginning with Tayshia.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't know. They seem weird to me. And I don't know what's up.
I think everyone's being weird. Except Hannah G. Hannah G is just trying to, like, stay quiet.
Yeah.
Stay out of it.
He loves me. I'm trying to ignore everything else.
Yeah. And she's like, we spent so much time making out, and I'm just going to, like, focus on that moving forward.
Oh, she doesn't have, like, any friends in the house.
I'm sure
she's a front runner. I think she'll be fine. She'll just ride off into the sunset, or everyone
leave
will
her
be
friends
like...
behind.
On a white horse, do you think?
Yeah, like, it could have a little bit of gray mixed in to make it more contemporary, but...
I was thinking brown spots.
Oh, interesting.
You know, I was thinking the gray, like a gray tail. And
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, like, maybe you're forward thinking, right? Yeah. And we're, like, in the moment, so I'll consider brown spots.
You guys have, obviously, an image in your head that you guys are sharing, apparently.
Yeah. Lisa and I spend enough time together. We're just...
It's true.
This is telepathy.
We're sharing...
Telepathy.
Yes, it is telepathy. That is the word. That is a word.
Is it a word?
Yeah, it's for sure a word. Don't look it up. If you're listening, don't look it up. It's just extra syllables for fun.
Yeah. No.
Oh boy. I don't think we should have invited you on. Because we just invited people into, like, you and I hanging out.
It's true. It was like, it was clear from real early on that you should not have invited me on.
Ryan can barely handle you and I hanging out. I don't know how we thought our
podcast
listeners could handle us hanging out. It's not going to boost our numbers.
No,
is all I'm going to say.
We'll see.
Not.
People like weird things.
Sure. Okay, all right. Are we on a date at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Hannah B.
Hannah B is on a date.
Okay, so I had a question. Like, did he already... I guess he already knew he was going to take somebody on a date with his parents. Like, why did he choose her?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think maybe to just get validation from another person to send her home.
It just seemed...
Yeah.
Maybe if things, like, really clicked with the parents, too, maybe that would have been a sign, like...
Maybe he's, like, on the fence.
Do you like this? Like...
Do you like this?
Do you like this, my family? Oh, like, no, Hannah B is this. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. Like, it's, like, maybe he felt like he should like her, and so he was, like, presenting her to other people to be like, should I like her?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what he kind of needed.
Yeah.
Like when you try on a shirt and you ask your best friend, exactly. Like, you really want to like the shirt, but, like, you're not really sure it's fitting well on you, and you're like, how does this look? And then, like, if they tell you it looks super cute, then you buy it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But if they say, oh, that doesn't work, then you, like, for sure don't.
Right. Like, if they're not like, oh, this shirt, awesome, right? Then you're like, okay, yeah. It wasn't. Yeah. But if they are really into it, then you doubt your own.
Like, if they do heart eye emoji, then, like, you gotta buy it.
Sure.
Oh, heart eye emoji.
Yeah, he wanted them to heart eye emoji.
I was like, what's hard eye?
Hard eye. Like, solid
Like a stern look?
There were the staring eyeballs. That's how
what women like.
That one. This one.
Don't do it so close to me. You'll endanger the sanctity
Brian,
of my
you
union. We've already, like, established that I'm Team Kelly.
So she meets his family.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say his dad is being so supportive in his conversation with him, where he's just, like, helping him, like, figure out how he feels, or, like, asking him how he feels without saying, hey, dude, it's super weird you're dating 7 women right now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like most parents at some point are just going to be like, are you fucking sure about this process still? Like, I think you can leave. Like, I don't know.
I don't think you can.
Like, it might be, like, even, like, weirder because of society. Like, for him to have been, like, on The Bachelorette, right? Where he's, like, dating one woman, and there are, like, many guys dating that woman.
I guess they did meet his girlfriend while she was dating 3 other men. Mm-hmm. So, I guess it's not that weird anymore. At least he's the one in control now.
Wait, no.
Wait,
yeah, he was the hometown with Becca.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, he did? No,
yes, because Colton's dad told Becca, if you're not really feeling with Colton, then please don't continue on with him.
Was it 4?
Yeah, he was number 4.
Oh, okay.
Because it was Garrett, Blake,
that's,
Jason, Colton.
I guess that's right.
And then Colton had a weird conversation with Chris Harrison about fantasy suites are next week. Sex?
Yeah.
I'm really good at remembering exact quotes.
I mean, that sounds like Chris Harrison.
Yeah, that exact voice. Or that's Colton.
Yeah.
That's Colton. That's like, sorry, that was Colton.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. You know, I was totally getting Chris Harrison. You need to work on that.
Sex?
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that was good. Side note, who did Becca end up with?
Garrett.
Okay, and they're still together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They're staying super low key because he had that like Instagram scandal where he like liked a bunch of racist stuff.
Right.
I think like a few
right.
things.
Yes.
Not a couple. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was just 1 or 2 things.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure we follow her on Twitter and there's nothing on there.
Yeah.
So we don't follow him.
I didn't like him. Racist. Yeah.
He's pretty vanilla.
He was. Yeah.
He was very like, he grew up in a small town and everyone told him he was funny.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm
he's so
goofy.
handsome, he's so funny, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like, probably everyone told him he was handsome too.
Yeah.
Was he handsome?
No, but
he's okay.
He might be small town handsome.
Got it. I have a real type, so it's real hard for me to tell.
Farm boys aren't it?
No, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet your husband. I'm surprised.
I know, right? Yeah, it super looks like he could be from a farm.
Computer farm?
Yeah, I'm like, there are ways I could go with this. I'm going to just like dial back from
server farm.
Your users. Your listeners do not know other information. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
I felt like, So, I didn't really have anything else about them actually with the family. Did you guys?
Hannah B said that she's in love with Colton.
Well, she had said she's falling in love with him.
And then she said, I'm in love with him.
Thailand. She said that. She said she's in love with him.
Yeah, to his mom.
I missed that. I thought she'd said the same thing she'd said before.
She did, and then she followed up with, I'm in love with him.
Also, it's like everyone's worst nightmare. You have like Colton like doing an aside where he's like, yeah, I just like I'm really not feeling it with her. And then she looks at him and she's like, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, it's totally fine.
Oh my God. She looked so worried on the drive back.
That's like such crap. Like yeah, it's super fine. I don't know.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awkward.
That's just like feeding into everyone's insecurities is what that's doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a really excellent point.
Thank you.
So at dinner, Hannah's wearing this, like, really spiffy 80s prom dress.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was, like, total time warp. And it made me feel like a little old, because I was like, this must be contemporary to some people because they don't remember when it was.
It's
when,
it's
they
retro
don't remember
now.
when it was like Golden Girls were wearing this.
Oh my god, right?
Like, it's like Blanche could have nailed that
Oh
off.
my god,
Like, she
yes.
would have really killed in that outfit.
A slightly higher neckline is what I see for Blanche, but
Sure,
only
sure.
slightly.
Sure,
only
sure,
slightly, because
sure,
that
sure.
was like a deep V.
Yeah, but it was like DV. It didn't like show any curvature of the boob, which I think could still work for an older person as long as you kept
Oh,
the boobs to the
Blanche.
side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blanche, wink, wink.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who's Blanche?
You're like, she's
I
not in
lost.
my notes at
Oh,
all.
Golden Girl.
Golden Girls. Yeah, she was a golden girl in pink.
But Colton's like asking her how she knows that she's like ready to like basically marry him.
Like, exactly how are you ready or whatever.
And I think he was trying to find out how he should know when he's ready.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, I remember having a conversation with one of my friends one time who was married, and I was deciding if my boyfriend and I were really where we should be. And I was like, how did you know you wanted to marry your husband? And then she started to talk, and I just started crying because that was not where I was. And I felt like that's what Colton was doing. He's like, how do you know you're ready for marriage? Yeah, that's not where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it is a super weird conversation for people to have with you because, like, when you, not gonna say when you know, but like when
But,
you're
like, kind
ready, when you're ready, like it's just kind of an irrelevant question. It doesn't take up a lot of mental energy. You're like, yeah, I'm getting married. Like it's like stressful. Like I have to do these things, but it's not like
The decision
should
to.
I be getting married? Like you're
Yeah.
not really spending a lot of time on that. In my personal,
I mean, like
experience.
early in a relationship when you
for sure.
have to propose to someone after 2 months.
Sure.
It's like
Yeah, a normal time in a normal relationship after 2 months where you have to decide if you want to marry them. Typically, we have those questions, but you know,
someone came into like our living room and was like, "Are you guys ready to get married now?" It's like you need to propose
even though we were
to someone,
together,
to
spending
someone.
all of our time together.
Do it now.
You need to propose to someone, anyone. Pick a person on the block.
That is kind of the show, though.
Here's a cute girl down the road.
Yeah. Maybe it's her.
Maybe it's her. Okay.
Ooh.
So Hannah's like talking to Colton about him meeting her parents, like how great it's gonna be, and then Colton's like, "Thank you. Next, like we're done here."
when she says like, "I really love you," and he's like, "I really appreciate that."
Yes,
terrible.
Yes, that was my thank you.
That was so terrible.
And then he was like, I really just don't see this going any further or something like that. And that's the next. He basically said thank you next if you summarize
I don't
it.
know if you guys saw the look, but you know how Hannah B is just always smiles? Always smiles.
Mm-hmm.
And then she let it drop for a fraction of a second where she was just like, what, like, she was getting broken up with.
Mm-hmm.
And she like did like a little like eye roll and just like, she was done with the situation.
Yeah.
But she like quickly remembered
Mm-hmm.
she is on camera right now.
Yeah,
And so she had that look for a second, like a split second.
I saw
super
it.
respected her
Okay.
for like in the car ride being like, I'm pissed off. Like
Okay.
that was her, that was what she said.
Let me tell you the moment I really respected her. It was when Colton said, "You're going to make someone very happy."
She's like,
and
I
she
know.
said, "I know."
Yeah. Sorry.
Right?
Yeah, that was it. Where I was like, "Yes."
You don't need to tell me that. I'm going to make
Yes.
somebody happy.
Like,
Duh.
There's like so much work involved.
Yeah, but then she lost some respect where she was like, I have all these qualities he wants. He's like, where else is he going to find that? And it's like, these were all pretty generic qualities that you listed. Lots of women possess those qualities. You don't have to bring down the entire 51% of the population just because you got broken up with right now. Like, calm down. I'm sorry, but your heart hurts.
I really need to watch better is what I'm getting from this. What did she say?
I'm sorry, you need 4 pages of notes.
Yeah. You're super better at this. Like, that is what I'm gathering.
Okay, I mentioned this when we were watching, and you know how Caelynn and Colton had like a whole band ready to go and everything?
Yes.
Like, what if, like, whenever the Bachelor, like, oh, this just isn't working out, and they send them home, what if they booked a band?
This was their big break.
This was their big break, and they're gonna be on The Bachelor. They're gonna be on national TV during prime time, and then people, like, their name was gonna be on television, and then, like, they didn't get to play.
Yeah, you got me super emotionally invested in this hypothetical band.
I know.
Real sad for them.
And then, like,
best case scenario is if it's one of those situations where they invited a bunch of people to it already.
there's an audience already.
Yeah, like with, I think it was Elise's, that there was a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
And so then, okay, those people still get a show, right? Like, everyone's probably like a little bit bummed they don't get to meet, like, The Bachelor if they're, like, big fans, but, like, the band still gets to perform. There's still fans there who didn't know their name previously.
Yeah. They still gotta play for somebody, though.
Yeah.
But then
the fireworks guys, they already bought the fireworks. What are they supposed to do with that?
yeah, too bad in the contract they wrote in that, like, they must go off before they get paid or whatever. So,
They've
like,
been waiting there for hours for this moment because they don't know when it's going to
they
happen.
did all the
So cold
setup
in
and
Denver.
everything.
It is so cold.
Sometime between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m., we're going to need these fireworks. Just wait.
We may or may not pay you.
And then somewhere on this date, it cuts back to the house. A date cart comes in saying something really ominous around the lines of, saying goodbye is never easy.
Yeah.
And I was like, woo!
It's a bit on the nose.
Next?
Yeah.
Group date.
The
Yeah.
group
Kirpa,
date.
Hannah G, Cassie, and Heather. I'm not sure if that's an order it was in, but there's only 4 women left.
I didn't write down the names because I figured I could remember them.
I didn't.
The energy is so low on this date until they see that train. And then they're so pumped. And then Ryan was like, you're Ryan. His name is Colton. Ryan was like, does Colton, like, send one of them home and they have to get on the train and leave? I was like, oh my God, yes, that's what I want. So badly, where he's like, I'm sorry, bye. And then they just, like, get on a train and they're gone forever.
Slowly go away because trains are not that fast.
Right? Yeah, it's like,
bye. Good luck.
But, like, there was some comment. I should have written it down, and I will in the future.
God.
But,
Next
like,
season, please.
when Colton, like, has them come on the train, he has, like a super little kid, like, it's, like, a really cool train, though, right? Like, or, like, you like my train. Like, he had some, like, weird throwaway where I was like, suddenly you've, like, really taken it down several notches, where it's like, I've got a locomotive. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
I do feel like riding a train through the mountains might be my secret dream that I didn't know.
Interesting.
I'm also pretty sure I've done it, and so maybe it's not that exciting.
You're like...
Maybe I've done it multiple times and it doesn't feel like that big of a deal when it's happening, but this looked super cool.
Like, he kept forgetting to look out. Like, he was not... Like, he kept forgetting to look out. Like, the other women would be like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And he'd be like, oh yeah, it's great.
He has 4 gorgeous women on the train. What else is he looking at more beautiful
He's
than
got a
that?
view inside the train.
His future wife is in that train.
Yeah, Cassie.
Yeah,
Hannah G.
For sure.
Kirpa.
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
he calls her back.
yeah, it's true. That is
Actually in love with
how...
you.
Yeah. Like, I didn't realize all along that it was you.
Mm-hmm.
You.
Did they ever do that?
Yes.
Not that far back.
Not
I
that
don't
far back.
think.
No, it was just like, I did watch the Jason Mesnick one where he was like, yeah, so this is not working. And then, like, the girl was like, you couldn't tell me this, like, not
Privately?
Privately? Like,
Yeah, wasn't it, like,
fucking
after the rose, right?
A normal part of our relationship.
Yeah. It was super awkward.
But him and Molly live in Seattle and she has a radio show.
I know, they seem happy.
Yeah. They have kids. Kid?
One kid? Maybe 2. I don't know. He had a kid before. I think they have one kid together.
What?
I don't know if I've mentioned this, but so some people have wondered if like thinking that like the whole show is like an act, that like, oh, all these people are just actors or whatever. But I have an old ex-coworker that worked for a small TV company before, and then they had Jason Mesnick on it for a little bit, and he could not fucking remember a line. He couldn't remember the line. He was like sweating, and he could not like just get it out. Like
So,
it wasn't.
He would not have been able to act his way through.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's like absolutely like if it's scripted at all, they probably cut out all of that stuff for
Which
his
would, like, not even be worth it at that point.
Yeah.
Have you watched Unreal?
Like us, like
Couple
a
episodes.
Yeah, me too. That's all.
I mean, it was interesting enough.
Yeah.
But
we could see where the rest of it's going.
Yeah, that was basically
Intriguing.
I'd be much more interested in like real stories about like working behind the scenes rather than like
Right.
scripted working behind the scenes.
Sure,
if it was like a documentary about people who worked behind the scenes, I'd be more into that.
I mean, it is like
I read
written
articles.
or
Like, I read a
produced by
couple
someone.
articles.
Like I
read the article by or about the person who like producer or whatever, and that was more interesting to me than what I watched.
should send that along.
It was a long time ago. There's no way I'm going to find it again. I'm sorry.
And I probably won't remember.
If I stumble upon it again, I promise you I will send it to you.
On Stumble Upon.
That is such a really great non-promise.
You're welcome, friend.
Universe.
Best friend.
Just delivers it to me.
If the universe wants you to have it, you will have it.
Okay. I do remember one time getting interviewed, like after I was in a track meet, and like I said a bunch of things, and then like I read the article afterwards, and it was like, they made me sound like a douche. From that moment forward, I've always like had a tiny grain of salt. Like editing is really important.
I'm going to make you sound like a douche. That is my entire plan for this episode.
I kind of expected it. It's okay.
And actually, at the beginning when you say, I'm Lisa, I'm going to edit it to, I'm the douche.
Splice what you said the douche a second ago. Just gonna put it all together, just like The Bachelor.
It's like a weird, they're like weird, sex sounds that I make when I'm like, it's like
that's your sex sounds.
Sounds, sure.
Write down the timestamps.
No, I'm gonna write down the timestamp so I can put that in multiple places throughout the podcast.
I don't want to play anymore. Where were we?
Heather was about to send herself home.
Train. Yeah. Heather was
Yeah, they
super
get
into it.
somewhere. Where did they get to? They got to a train
mountains?
station?
They went to a train stop.
Okay.
An official train stop. In the Rocky Mountains.
The Mountains of Rocky.
Yeah, and Heather
Balboa.
was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home.
Yeah, basically she's like, I don't feel like I'm 100% in this right now, so I'm gonna
You don't
leave.
deserve it,
Yeah.
I'll just make
So
this easier for
she
you.
had never been kissed before? Is that the...
Yes, so
that was the big thing?
her first and only kiss.
Got it.
Ooh, you don't know. There's a lot of producers on the show.
Ooh, there have been scandals before.
Oh, child. Really? There have?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I didn't watch that season, but I've seen like the best moments of The Bachelor or worst moments of The Bachelor. I don't remember which list it was. In my mind, this would be on the best. And it was basically like Chris Harrison confronting a woman saying like,
oh, yeah.
we know that you've had like relations with one of our staff members.
I totally remember that.
What
Yeah.
season is that?
I don't know. If I find it again, I'll send it to you.
Who was...
I don't remember what it was. And I've actually even seen that season.
I think it was the season that Emily was a contestant. Do you know Emily?
Yes.
The one that she was a contestant on.
Okay. All right, I'll look it up.
With that one guy. I don't know. He had hair. That's all I remember.
He had hair, you say. Tell me more about this hair.
He had long hair.
Long hair.
Long curly hair.
Long curly hair. You're actually adding a lot to make it easier to find him.
And then I think he chose nobody at the
I
end.
don't
But
know.
Well, that makes
maybe
it a lot
not.
easier.
I don't.
Long,
That's what I feel like he did. But maybe
long curly hair.
Maybe he doesn't choose anyone. Add that to your note.
They are on a train. I don't know. I felt like she's okay. This is my like. There's like one good thing that I think comes out of the sexual repression of like hyper religiosity, and that is the like somebody gets to have all of this, like that like notion of like I am a sacred gift, and like it just.
I wish you guys could see Lisa's body right now.
And it just seemed like she was like, he's not into it enough. Like, this is like, all this is like pretty amazing. And like, she needed a date from him for him to be like, I'm really into you.
Yeah.
So.
Which, I mean, is valid.
Fair, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, if she's not going to be ready to marry him in a couple weeks, then
Weirdo.
might as well, I guess, find somebody who would be.
I mean, she already kissed him.
She already kissed them. They're basically making babies now.
Right, yeah. I mean, she's like a little bit less valuable to the next person.
Oh boy,
That's gonna be a
pity on that man.
That's a rough conversation that they're gonna have to
I've
have.
kissed someone before.
Yeah, where like,
Oh boy.
man. But maybe somebody will be able to see past that.
Our bodies touched while we kissed. Yeah, I know.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad that's not my past. I will add no further details to that.
I did like that this like ended up not being an emotional moment at all.
She
It was like
just
very matter
I'm
of
not
fact.
into
Mhm.
it, so I'm heading out.
He
Yeah.
didn't really object
No.
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
No. I mean, she got her like magical fireworks kiss, which seemed to be at a time that she wanted it to be, the way like she seemed happy with it at that time.
Yeah.
She stayed on for another week past that, and then now gets to leave on her own terms.
Yeah.
It
Where
seems
was
okay.
her firework kiss, in Singapore or something?
Thailand.
Thailand. Got it. Did
Yeah.
they go to Singapore ever?
Singapore
did.
was week 4.
Mhm.
It was their first Asia trip, and then week 5, Thailand, week 6, Vietnam.
Got it.
And then week 7, Colorado. That's the only way you can keep escalating it.
Gotta go to Colorado.
Yeah. Sure. Where are they gonna go? Okay, I'm gonna knock it.
I don't know where they're going to go next. Bahamas?
Well, they're gonna
Maybe
go to
Bahamas.
hometowns, and then they're gonna go.
Oh, they're going to go somewhere
Somewhere.
cold.
Yeah.
Because there have been
Nestled
previews of him,
together.
like, walking up a mountain.
Got
I think he did, like, the whole, like, Nick Vile thing of getting,
it. Frostbite?
yeah.
Jumping a fence.
Nick Vile never jumped a fence, and I don't believe Colton fucking did either.
I don't think he did either.
Wait, what? Okay,
You haven't heard about the jumping the fence?
No.
It's the most, like, talked about thing
Over
of the season.
hyped thing.
Maybe more than his virginity at this point.
Interesting.
Honestly. There is footage of Colton jumping over a fence like it's, like, shorter than a couch. Like, I would have more trouble jumping over our couch than he did jumping over that fence.
Interesting.
It's a tall fucking fence. It is like an 8-foot fence. 9-foot, 10-foot, 20-foot fence. I don't know how tall it is. It is the wall
Numbers
that
fence.
Donald Trump wants to build. I
Right.
don't know.
We have that already, by the way, if you've ever been to the border. But that's neither here nor there. People are able to jump it. Spoiler alert. Okay.
So, Colton jumps the fence between the United States and Mexico, I assume.
Right. Yeah.
That fence.
Got
Oh,
it.
okay.
Got it. Checks out.
Like, I'm pretty sure if you just Google, like, Colton jumping fence, you're gonna find the footage, and it's, like, he just, like, lifts himself up and goes over it, despite the fact that it's taller than him.
Does he make a little boop? noise like he's in a video game?
It's
Super
like the
Mario?
Mario jumping noise.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they have, like...
Does he like hit a block and release a mushroom?
Yeah. No, his head, like, hits a block, above
Yeah.
him. Actually, it's a star that comes out, I think.
Oh, right. That makes more
okay,
sense.
yeah.
That makes
And then he
way
runs,
more sense.
and
I
then
wish
he
he were
runs
a
away.
feather. Him as a raccoon. I think I could get behind that.
We can do some editing. But that's not the original footage. I'm gonna draw the line there. But then he really does just, like, keep running.
Interesting.
And then, like, you see, like, cameramen, like, trying to find him. And they're like, he's gone. And Chris Harrison has done multiple interviews where he's like, yeah, like, I pushed him too far. Like, he was already upset. And then I went and talked to him and I pushed him too far. And that's when he ran away. And this has been going on since, like, week fucking won. We've been seeing this footage. We're like, it's going to be this week. Is it going to be this week? Is it going to be this week? And then 2 weeks ago, Colton is like, it's going to be this week. And it wasn't fucking that week. And then I was like, all right, for sure it's going to be this week. And everyone thought for sure it's going to be this week. And it wasn't fucking this week. And now I think a lot of us have given up hope. And I'm on team giving up hope. I think it's going to one day appear as a deleted scene 5 years in the future where nobody cares about it anymore.
Already over it. Since I found out he doesn't hit a block and get a feather.
Okay, so we had a big sidebar about Colton jumping the fence. I don't know that I can create a smooth segue for this.
That's fine.
So,
it is more believable after having watched other footage.
Okay, so Kirpa tells Cassie that she heard from Katie that Cassie wasn't ready. And this is where Katie gets dragged into this. Because Katie wasn't dragged into this previously.
Who is Katie?
So Katie left last week, and I for sure thought it was going to be her and Hannah G at the end of it.
Interesting.
For sure. Like, she was my top two. They seem to have such a connection.
Yeah.
Oh.
Huge chemistry. Like, I'm so surprised he sent her home. I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
There had to have been something we didn't see.
I see. Cool.
Yeah.
Especially over Kirpa.
Especially over Kirpa!
It was a 2-on-1?
No. But it's just like, Kirpa had a 1-on-1, and...
Oh, she had a rose already.
And so he gave her a rose, but there was no reason for him to give her a rose. Like, there wasn't anything happening on the date.
He described it as a slow burn.
Yeah.
Their relationship being a slow burn, like building on top of each interaction.
Yeah. It was really interesting. But this is where Katie gets brought into it. And Katie had not previously brought into this conversation. It was... after Katie left, they sat down, they talked about it, decided that she was talking about Cassie and Caelynn. But now, Kirpa's saying that Katie told them that Cassie wasn't ready. And that's the story Kirpa sticks with after that point.
Yeah.
Which was very strange to me.
It was, and I still did not believe Kirpa the entire time. Apparently, Reddit has decided that Tayshia and Kirpa are the ones that are telling the truth because they've been making a lot of memes about like Colton, like everybody in the house saying Cassie and Caelynn are the bad ones, and then
Who else said Cassie was a bad one?
I mean Tayshia, I guess.
Okay.
But I think they're also including all of the other women from the previous week too, Demi and Katie. I know exactly, but. What Reddit is saying is like all of these warnings against probably Cassie and Caelynn, and Colton's just like, and just like throws the list in the fire. Or something like that.
They cried though. No one who cries.
No one who cries is.
I don't think Demi was talking about Cassie and Caelynn. I don't think Demi was talking about Cassie. I don't know her relationship with Caelynn. But I also feel like if the women did know Tayshia, then they would know she had a boyfriend before she started filming, possibly when she started filming, and then she would be the one they shouldn't be trusting, right?
Yeah. Well, also same with Cassie, because Cassie had she was on a reality show before this too, and it was like it ended filming right before The Bachelor,
2 weeks before,
and then she had a boyfriend at the time,
which is basically the same timeline as Tayshia. With her Bahamas trip.
Exactly.
With Mr. Handsome.
Is he handsome?
Is he very handsome?
He was handsome. I don't want to say very, but he was handsome.
He's handsome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to talk about my past, but 2 weeks is a long time.
But it didn't look like they went to the Bahamas and had a bad time. So I'm going to say,
mean,
Cassie and her boyfriend seemed like it was on and
real
off.
good times with people that I, didn't want to, settle down with.
Okay. Now, was this within a year of a previous divorce for you? Just wondering, did you
Is that Tayshia?
did you file
Tayshia.
for your divorce and then immediately be
I feel
audition for The Bachelor?
I feel like that's kind of understandable. I feel like people go nuts after they're like, I've been in this relationship for a really long time.
So I want to date one man who's dating 29 other women. Is that what you felt like?
I mean, we're getting really personal, and that was like something I told you
In confidence.
In confidence. And I just feel like he wasn't ready for commitment. We had something special.
But Colton brings up to Cassie this whole thing about his like concern about her readiness and all that, and like she seemed more convincing to me than Caelynn.
Okay,
her voice was like really shaky in a way that I felt like wasn't controllable.
interesting.
She seemed like really lost for words, and I feel like had she been expecting it, she would have come up with a thing to say.
Interesting.
That's what I think.
That's fair. I might have been distracted at that point.
You seem like you were distracted a lot. You didn't know what kind of ice cream the dog was eating.
I didn't realize that it was approximately 10 years old and therefore had to be a family dog.
Yeah, we did record the whole thing about the family dog.
Yes.
Or we talked about that before we start recording.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I believed Cassie more than Caelynn, but I guess if we're believing Cassie, then we're believing Caelynn. And I believed Kirpa less than Tayshia, but I felt like Tayshia didn't say the same thing to Colton that she said to Caelynn, and I believe what Tayshia said to Caelynn. I don't believe anything Kirpa said.
That's fair.
Although...
Followed most of that.
Thank you. I personally loved when Kirpa said to Hannah G, if Colton asks me what I think, well, then I'll tell him. And then she sits down with Colton, and he's like, hi. And she's like, let me tell you what I think.
Mm-hmm. She had a notebook. Let me show you, too.
A notebook. This is my burn book. Let me show you pictures of them and why they're whores.
She's not a virgin.
Caelynn has had sex with at least one person. Cassie has admitted to it. I, however, am pure. I will wear white on our wedding day. That part was cut out, so we didn't see it, but I'm sure it was there.
No one checks.
Caelynn Miller Keys is a fugly witch.
I'm an authority on this, and no one checks.
Okay. Ryan, thoughts?
On Kirpa and things?
Kirpa and Cassie.
Okay. Reddit was like, oh, Kirpa's so calm. I really like how she was collected or whatever. It's like, kind of like what you were saying before, like people kind of put themselves in this like diluted state of like what I say is true, kind of like on Yeka. It's like, I don't yell at people. I've never in a million years have I called someone an idiot. And then she like is literally calling.
No, she said,
Nicole.
I would never call someone mentally unstable. Nicole's insane.
She's crazy. So like people kind of can make themselves believe that thing, or like just say lies and be very believable.
Sure.
And so like just because she's being calm doesn't mean she's telling the truth.
I would say sociopaths probably stay calmer in certain situations.
That like if someone was saying incorrect things about you.
Unrelated sidebar.
Yeah, if someone's like saying incorrect things about you, you're gonna get upset.
Yeah,
You're not gonna be you're not gonna be super collected.
But like nobody was saying. Okay, I don't feel like she was into Colton. That part.
Kirpa?
Yeah,
I'm like,
Kirpa?
oh, yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But nobody was saying anything about her, right?
Correct. Yeah, her character was not under attack. It was Cassie's.
Yeah.
I do want to say I did not like the way Cassie argued. Her saying that she thought that what Kirpa was doing was just like a desperate act or something like that. Or like she was just, this is like an act of desperation or something like that. And I was like maybe it's true. Like maybe it's like her last ditch effort to be able to like stay in the game. Mm-hmm. But like you don't need to say that. That's fighting kind of dirty.
Also, okay, this is rewinding way back. But what was that like desperate 28-year-old comment?
About Tayshia?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rude too.
Is it that she's like old? Like, is that the thing? Or like, why is mentioning she's 28 like a thing?
Colton's 26.
Okay.
So this season, anyone who is over 26 is part of the Cougar Club.
27, I think. But yeah.
Over 26. Yeah, so 27 and up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is like the Colton Cougar's Den or whatever.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Yeah.
super old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Ancient. There are ancient women up to the age of 31 that were on the season.
He wants to have kids and their eggs have dust on
Oh, yeah. No. Those women are menopause by now. So,
Right.
yeah, I don't know why they'd even enter them in the contest. If they're not 24, they don't have business being there.
Sure.
Well,
I retract my question because it is obvious now that
if you'd watched the season, you would understand.
Desperate.
Yeah.
Because who is going to marry her if she gets to 30?
Oh my God. Please marry by the time you're 30 or kill yourself. Just kidding.
Uh-oh.
I'm 31 and not married. And it is okay.
Right,
I am engaged, though.
We are being...
But I wasn't engaged when I was 29 or 30.
Right.
So.
Maybe write down the timestamp. I don't know how this works.
I like it. I did not like that Cassie said, the way that Cassie reacted in this conversation where she got to say everything she wanted to say, but as soon as Kirpa started to talk, Cassie
kept interrupting.
It was like, I don't care, it's over, like, I'm done, whatever. Like, she would not listen to Kirpa, and that infuriated me. Like, it's fine. Like, Kirpa sat there patiently for her turn to talk. Like, even if you disagree with her, you let her talk, and you just stare at her like she's a bitch. Like,
Truth.
This is what you do.
Truth, you let them cut dagger eyes. Like, let the film crew, like, film your dagger eyes, but you listen.
Yeah. I got real annoyed at that.
What do you have to say about that Cassie lover?
Can you splice together people talking over each other? You could probably do that, right? It probably wouldn't sound very good. It wouldn't sound as natural.
See, this is
why are you backing Cassie so hard?
No, I'm just
trying
wondering if that's
this
possible.
Is like
but maybe it's probably not what happened.
The signs.
I honestly didn't.
Ben has.
I thought they were just
damage.
yelling at
That's
each other the
just
whole
me.
time.
On a side note, I'm sure it's going to get edited out because of prejudice.
Writing down the timestamp.
But fair. Okay. So sorry.
Overall,
right.
I thought their conveation was not productive.
Yes.
It was not productive,
Sure.
as is most conversations.
Yeah, I just...
Yeah, right.
Oh, and then I also liked when Kirpa is, like, talking to the camera, and she basically says that people shouldn't cry when they argue, because it makes them less valid.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Not
Emotions mean that you're wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's so true, though.
I mean,
not at all problematic.
I am wrong in most of my arguments because I get emotional. That's how it works. Okay. So at dinner, Colton says he has clarity on one thing, and he asks if he can talk to Hannah G, and we hear them giggling, and we see some awkward silence between Kirpa and Cassie, and then Hannah G, or Colton comes out, grabs the rose, Hannah G leaves. Done. Her date is done.
Yeah.
She gets to go home.
Yeah.
Somebody
it pays.
Ignore the rest of the
Somebody
nonsense.
was like, she's probably still hungry, though. I hope somebody gave her a cup of
They
noodles.
eat before they go. They never eat on the dates.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Except for Ari.
Except for Ari. Ari ate on the dates. Nobody else eats. And Corinne.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Corinne would eat too. But otherwise, they have them eat beforehand.
Interesting.
Because you don't want the, like, noise of them eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I had to read all that because I was like, why do they always waste the food?
So they serve them food, but nobody eats?
Yes. So I'm hoping it's fake food.
Or
but,
like the crew eats it or something.
Yeah, somebody.
hopefully.
I'll feel real bad if it goes to waste. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I also like that really big table that they had where the three women were all on the other side.
That was weird.
It was like he was interviewing them for Shark Tank. I don't know. There was something about
Or
it.
he was interviewing, getting interviewed.
Yeah, right,
Yeah, he was on a job interview. And then Caelynn takes it upon herself to crash the date and talk to Colton.
Yeah. Why does she make, like, no eye contact with anybody?
I'm guessing she was told she couldn't. That's my guess. Because she, like, seems very, like, dead set on not looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems, like, really unnatural. So I think she was told, like, yes, you can go talk to Colton, but you can't talk to anyone else.
And then, yeah, it also makes sense, too, because she went straight upstairs. Because, like,
she had to know where he was.
How do you know he's upstairs?
Yeah.
So he probably talked to somebody first.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she got permission to talk to him.
Yeah, she can't just wander.
Yeah.
They're not free.
Right?
Too much freedom.
Their shock collars are not turned down that low.
I like when Katie was like, yeah, I'm just going to call Katie right now. Or when Cassie was like, I'm going to call Katie right now and see what she said. Because they don't have cell phones.
Yeah, let me go get my cell phone right now. Yeah.
We don't see a lot of this conversation between Caelynn and Colton.
Yeah.
Though.
No. But she was basically, before, just saying that she's going to go and make sure that Colton has all the information.
Yeah.
She doesn't, as much as, well, what she says is, as much as I want it to be me and you in the end, I feel like you shouldn't make a decision based on
you should,
false
if you have
information.
if you have somebody that you have a connection with, you shouldn't, like, regret and look back and, like, yeah.
Which, I mean, his connection with Cassie is far greater than his connection with Kirpa. Like,
yeah, I feel like that was a very easy choice for him to make. Like,
but I think he did need somebody close to him to, like, tell him.
Interesting.
To, like, don't think about it so much. If you have the connection with the person, go with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, I think he was, like, in his head, he's like, I don't know who to believe right now.
I mean, I'm sure he's being lied to, but he could still make out with a lot of people before. You know, like, he should pick who he wants to make out with.
At least.
That's an interesting
the next
train of thought you have for choosing a future partner.
Well, I mean, I feel like he's already chosen Hannah G.
That's true. He has. Yeah, it's him and Hannah G.
That's funny.
He gave her a rose immediately. She wasn't waiting.
Yeah.
But she wasn't the one in the drama.
And
she wasn't making the
for that.
good TV. So we know that Cassie gets the rose.
Yes. Cassie gets the rose. But meanwhile, so, like, Caelynn leaves, and, like, this might have been me reading too much into Kirpa's face, but what I saw Kirpa's face was, like, desperate hope that Tayshia was going to bust in any moment and, like, save her ass next. But that didn't happen for her. Her best friend Tayshia did not save her.
Intriguing. I wonder, like, how I would feel about this episode if I had any kind of backstory. But that is, like,
they
also
just became best friends, though. So I think
became best friends as far as we could tell. We don't know what's happening. Right. They don't show the minorities as much, so we don't know.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Ryan? So we know Cassie gets the rose, so between she's going to hometowns and Hannah-G's going to hometown. We know that.
I was gonna go back, but we can finish up this part first. So Kirpa gets in the car and they're leaving, and she just obviously is fake crying. Like, she was, like, putting the hand over her face, but then there were, like, no tears coming out. There was absolutely, her eyes weren't turning red. There were no tears. She was faking it.
Which is, like, regardless of what Cassie said or did not say, like, it makes more sense for her to be going to hometowns than Kirpa. Because Cassie has feelings for Colton.
Yeah, and there's no indications that Kirpa does.
Correct.
There are no I will agree with that. There are no indications that Kirpa has any
I'm
feelings.
not saying Cassie wants to marry Colton, but she has feelings for Colton.
I mean, she wants to kiss him.
Yes. Are those not feelings?
No.
Oh.
I mean,
okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
What to do?
Colton says that he is falling in love with Cassie to the camera, not to her.
Sure.
Has he said it to anybody?
I don't think he said to anyone.
Okay.
No. Which is important. They don't
An
usually...
important distinction.
Yeah. And then I have a question. A bold question, if I will. Why does Cassie get rooftop champagne, but Hannah G had to go back to the house? So Hannah G gets a rose, and then she fucking leaves. She's told to, I assume. And then he chooses between Kirpa and Cassie. He chooses Cassie. Kirpa goes home. Him and Cassie go up to the rooftop, and they drink champagne and have a nice romantic time together up there.
Oh, okay, she's going to get the last rose.
And why doesn't Hannah G get any champagne and rooftop time?
Because Hannah G is going to get a lifetime of happiness.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Just throwing a bone to Cassie right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, going way back.
Okay.
Hannah B. Oh man, I forgot already. Hannah B. There's something about Hannah B.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Hannah
she
B.
exists.
Let me see if I put in my notes.
Fishnet top.
Mm-mm.
80s prom dress.
Mm-mm.
Smiling.
Shoot, I forgot.
She's real sweet. Like in a I was trained to be sweet kind of way.
I mean, she was in pageants, so that makes sense. She was trained to
She's
be
from
sweet.
Alabama.
Yeah, she's from Alabama.
I, going way back, watched part of the Hannah G date in Vietnam.
Okay.
And there was some real interesting, like, at their dinner time, where, like, Colton was like, I never got to find out what happened between my parents. And then, like, the next sentence, he was like, every time they started talking about each other, I would leave the room. I was like, huh. That's an interesting pattern that I'm sure will not have any effect on your future relationships. He's like, they just like would never talk to me about it. Also, whenever they mentioned each other, I would leave because I didn't want to taint my like remembrance of our happy family. That's all.
That's an interesting point you make. Yeah. I didn't catch that.
They were just like, it was just one right up on the other. It's like, it's their fault.
Is that with Hannah G?
Yeah, he was having when he was having his conversation with Hannah G, he was just like,
that sounds really familiar.
Why will they never talk to me about it? Also, like, they keep trying to talk to me about it. Oh, that's all. Okay.
Did you remember?
I can't remember.
Aww.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Any other thoughts? So we're going into hometowns next week.
We're going into hometowns.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Where
excited about it.
Where's everybody from?
Okay.
Oh,
so
that's good to know.
Hannah G lives in Alabama.
Mm.
Cassie, I believe, is an LA native. Does that sound right?
Definitely California.
Okay. Caelynn was Miss North Carolina, but that doesn't mean that's where she lives currently or where her family lives. She moved around a few times before that.
Yes.
And then Tayshia. Oh, man, I wish I had my cheat sheet still.
Cheat seat?
Cheat seat.
It's the seat that you sit on.
Like, I want to say Wisconsin, but it sounds really wrong.
California.
California?
Corona Del Mar.
Yeah, that's southern. South.
I'm glad you're here. I don't know what any of those words mean.
It means the crown of the sea, but that's a little bit much.
So, Taco Del Mar. Taco of the sea.
The crown of the taco.
Yeah. It means the crown of the taco. It's true. Corona del taco.
Okay, so does it say where Cassie's from? Did I get that right?
I'm looking for Caelynn first.
Caelynn, she's from
Is it with
Virginia.
a K or a C?
A C. C-A-E. I would say she's from Virginia.
Okay, well, it says Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's probably where they're going to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually they say the city and state where
go to
they're going to
people's
go.
Actual houses, or do they like rent houses for it?
I think they go to their actual houses and then stage them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's what they've
happens.
mentioned.
All right.
Huntington Beach, California. That is where
Also
Cassie is from.
Okay.
Okay. Checks out.
Yeah.
I don't trust her. That's all I'm going to say.
That's fine. I mean,
Those
Cassie's not gonna
Huntington
win, so.
beaches.
Tell me about Huntington Beach, Lisa.
It's kind of cool. It used to be like a hippie town. It's like maybe her parents were surfers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna do some surfing on this date.
Super religious surfers.
Super religious surfing is what they're gonna do with like a Bible and the waves.
Southern
That's all you need.
California is super religious surfing. That's actually like really accurate.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Wait,
So,
surfing?
Catholic mass on surfboards?
No, not that kind of religious. Like they
surfing
found Jesus
religious?
after like a hard 20s and are like, if you really love God, you'll get a really hot wife. Like that's the.
Oh no, that logic follows for me. I've read the Bible. That's what it says.
Yeah, it's like it was always. Yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah, it was always a real awkward conversation because people were like, there aren't that many hot people here.
Oh,
like, yeah,
it's a rude thing to say to someone you're talking to.
I mean, I'm really excited about hometowns, but I'm always excited about hometowns. I'm sad I'm not going to get to be here, but yeah.
Yeah, but you'll still watch it.
I will
right?
watch it, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll listen to your podcast, and I will pretend that I'm talking with you guys.
Please do.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also just talk to us
I'll
too.
make our own little no, I couldn't. Ryan.
No?
That is completely illogical.
There have been times on the podcast where I've been like, well, Lisa said
I know I'm really excited about that actually. Like there was one time we talked about like being on a boat together and like we talked about as though I were there. But I was like, yeah. That's me, I'm Lisa.
All right. So I'm going to say that these are going to be pretty mild hometowns.
Yeah.
I think they're going to play up the whole like Tayshia hard-ass dad thing.
Yeah. But they didn't even have that much to clip together for it. Yeah. It's going to be chill.
I think it's going to be, pretty tame.
Yeah, even the previews did not look very intimidating. I think all the other ones seemed pretty, like, it seemed like Nick had a really hard one. Like the preview of his hometowns looked pretty hard.
It was intense, yeah.
I'm going to say Fantasy Suites is going to be Hannah G, Cassie, and Tayshia. I think those are the people he has the best chemistry with.
Yeah, he really wants to be in the fantasy suite with those three people for sure.
Yeah.
Who were you kicking off?
Caelynn.
I'm kicking out Caelynn. Yeah, that's who I think.
Yeah, I agree. They don't have as much chemistry, which is why I didn't realize her outfit was so cute. I have to like go check it out again.
Yeah, that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Still can't remember the Hannah B thing. That's okay.
Okay.
I'll just tweet it later.
All right. Any departing thoughts, Lisa?
No, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Very exciting.
Rate, review, and subscribe. Twitter, we are Roses in Thorns Pod. If you have a problem with that, tweet the person who has the Twitter handle Roses and Thorns. Tell her to give it up. She probably won't. She hasn't tweeted since 2005.
Or he. Is it she?
It's a she.
Okay.
Yeah, she has like 5 tweets and she hasn't tweeted in over 10 years. And that's
have you tweeted her?
Annoying. No, because she doesn't tweet anymore, so she probably doesn't check her Twitter.
Oh, she might get an email.
I don't know. But anyway, we are Roses in Thorns Pod. I have tried multiple combinations. That's all that's left.
I have too.
You can take Roses and Thorns down if you know her. No?
If you know her. If you know the person who has roses and thorns, take her down.
Yeah.
By any means necessary. No, we are not condoning violence or arson. I did not give the idea
Those
of arson.
are unnecessary means.
I was just
Clearly,
wondering what you
who
meant.
Who thinks of violence as a necessary mean? You? That's very shameful.
I just meant go into her Twitter app and unsubscribe.
Yeah.
And like, delete her account or whatever. That's what I meant. Don't get crazy, guys.
Delete her account?
Wow.
I don't know.
Dial it down, guys.
Wow,
dial it down.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.